Look at me, period. But anyway, OSS, I despise OSS. Okay? How can we teach our kids? How can you and your campus get plus 10 if they're not in school? You're not going to get it. In-school suspension, keep the kid in school. I used to hate in-school suspension because they still out of class. I would do them on Saturday school. It's okay. It's okay. But I'm saying that they need to be in school, especially those students already behind. Let's talk about this. You got some data. Let's talk about, you gonna hit me? Let's talk about disproportionality. Why is it? What are the factors that contribute to disproportionality? Look at your data. That's it from Grand Prairie. In Grand Prairie, ISD in our secondary schools, our African Americans kids are assigned to AEP at a disproportionate rate. You didn't get that handout? Where's that? I got some people didn't get. You didn't get the handout? So we can try. Okay, the percentages. Look at your percentage. Okay. Okay. Look at. Go ahead, Sarge. Jackson. Thanks. I'm sorry I had to take that one. Here's what I want you to know. Here's what I want you to know. Here's what I want you to look at. If you look at your data, it shows that African Americans make up about 17%. Good Lord, can we throw this thing away? Yes. 4:15. Okay. That's Sergeant Belaski. Okay. Here's what I have to say. You look at the minorities, 17% African American. Look their assignment to DAEP. Some 6 weeks is what? Some 9 weeks is 29, 28. Talk to each other and tell me why you think that African American students are being assigned at a disproportionate rate. Talk to each other. Tell me what you think the reason. Talk to each other at your table. What are the factors? Get called. Kids are getting off the bus Friday through Jackson. Kavanaugh's. You don't think so? Tell me, okay? This this is a very com. This is an issue that is all across the United States. It's an issue. It's an issue that certainly troubles African American parents. It's an issue that troubles African American organizations. It's an issue that troubles U.S. Department of Education. So, I want you to tell me, what do you think are the factors that's causing the disparity? Where we are? Yes, sir.
I believe one of the main factors is primarily the household, especially with African American families, there's no man in the house. And a lot of kids have identity crisis where they think that they're the man of the house. They want to be treated with a level of respect. So when they're in the school system, if somebody disrespects them or do anything of that nature, they feel like their identity is being attacked and they have to respond in some type of way.
Okay, you hear what he said, what he felt. You felt that, okay, all right, okay, let's hold on to that. We got another one, okay,
This obviously is large,
Okay.
a lot of moving parts.
okay,
But I think within our society, we see a disproportion based on kind of current media events. But I would say
so current media is,
current media events in terms of law enforcement. I'm not trying to stir anything. I'm saying
you're not stirring it up, go
Okay,
ahead,
okay,
go
okay,
ahead, you can talk,
all right.
you can talk.
But in terms of the disproportion, from a school district, we had some questions as to how we could really get equal measurement. But I would say in a nutshell, a few things. One, there may be a different perception or misunderstanding placed on an African American student versus another student, and that depends on who's meeting out the pun or the discipline or the correction. So there's many different variables, but at the heart of that, we kind of, or at least I was sharing, that there has to be a competence, there has to be a cultural competence awareness to kind of really understand what may be a norm and what may not be a norm within a certain culture group.
Well, what may be a norm and what may not be a norm in a certain culture group. Okay. What is, anybody else want to say something? What is the norm on the particular culture group? When we talk about norms, what is, do you know what I'm saying? What's the norm? Okay? And say that again? Do I want to explain that?
It relates to me to the possible quality of the offense at different campuses.
Okay, go ahead.
The assignment can be made one way at one campus for an offense, even though we have them categorized.
Okay. It may vary from campus,
Yes,
may vary from campus to campus.
the quality of work at one campus may vary to another, depending on the offense and how it's done
Okay, it may vary.
by that child.
It may vary from campus to campus depending on that particular child. Okay. Anybody else? Come on, help me, because this is an issue that you gotta have an opinion on this issue. You gotta have one, because what? Because what? You have what? African American students in your school. In your school. So let's talk. Let's talk. Go ahead. Okay.
Touched on it, and I think it's the cultural awareness and maybe your awareness of it, and how comfortable you are with cultures that may not be as familiar with your own. So,
I think there's some cultural differences.
yes, but just having awareness, not that you're gonna try to be like a different culture, but just accepting that it's something that's different from what you're normally used to. That they come to us with different experiences, different perceptions, and how they view the world is not how I view the world. So just having an awareness and appreciation for that difference,
Okay.
I think it's really, really big. So a lot of times the kids want that respect of, you don't even know where I'm coming from. So I usually, when I deal with discipline, I let them just go ahead talk. Just, get it all out,
Okay.
so that I have an understanding and appreciation of where they're coming from.
You let
before I
them
pass-
talk.
Before I pass judgment.
Before,
or,
okay.
before I let them see my perspective. Not, I want you to see my perspective.
You want them to
as
see
well,
yours.
but I give them an opportunity to allow them to share theirs. And sometimes when they speak, it's a different way than what I would speak, but I've grown to not speak in that manner anymore, and I share that as well, just because you talk crazy now doesn't mean you have to always talk crazy, so,
They're gonna tell me time, but let me tell you something. Okay. Probably every African American kid that comes to your school, probably at one time or another, parents have experienced racism at some point. That parent or grandparent has told them at times about it. And they have to listen and discern from that. Let me say, my mom's dead. She told me all the time about her experiences. And it must have troubled her, because she told me over and over and over. Okay? Here's what I want, okay? And that's all right. I had to learn for myself about how to deal with issues. Here's what one thing I want you to understand. And I hope you saw it the other day when you say you raised the issue. There was a African American man taking the trash out, was confronted by police officers, and he said, "I'm taking the trash out." His 8-year-old son was by him. The officers grabbed him by the throat. He was taking out his trash and threw him to the ground. The 8-year-old kid who goes to school, he was 8. He tried to help his dad, but they held him back. The experiences that sometimes that they bring to school, sometimes are unique, and sometimes the survival within the environment cause certain reactions. I grew up just like all African American community. Co-captain of football team, I was pretty smart. Did I have experiences where I could have lost my life and where I was put in a situation where I had to confront others? Huh? Yeah, because the very environment in which I grew up demanded that I have certain characteristics in order to survive. When a kid comes to school, the kid brings those experiences with him. Everybody is a product of their experiences. We all are. Both positive and negative. You have to allow that kid to, you have to hear that kid. Mr. Harrison told me about a hearing he and Miss Ramirez. And believe me, they spent an hour and a half, and when they came out, they told me about what they had heard. It was terrible, it was bad. But they listened. The kid has trouble. The kid has trouble when he comes to the academic environment, when he's experienced so much over here in order to just survive. You got to help him. What you say? I'm going to say, Dr. Alexander, what have you experienced? I started off the alum at South Grand Prairie. I was in a pair of jeans. I was principal of the school. I set it off in one Saturday morning, and I knew the police was coming. Knew they were coming. They didn't know who I was. That's not good. Are we good? Here's what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Everybody should follow the rules. There's no excuse for not following the rules. I'm not giving excuses for not following the rules, okay? I'm not giving that. But what I'm saying to you, that there are experiences that some people bring that causes them to react certain ways. If a kid has been told by their grandparent, this is what happened to me, this is what happened to me, this is what happened to me, are they going to trust you when they come? You're going to have to build that trust. You're going to have to build it. Who is that? Who is that right there? You should know. Every kid should know. Every kid in America should know who that is. But don't use your device. It's not Frederick Douglass. It's not Dred Scott. Okay, let me tell you who that is, because you should know, and every kid should know this. This is the first person to die in the American Revolution. The first one. Why you don't? That's correct. Christopher Adams, he's the first one. But every kid in America should know that. He's first. Why? Huh?
Need the other painting.
What?
Need the other painting.
What other painting?
The Boston Massacre painting.
Say it again.
The Boston Massacre painting that's got him there,
Uh-huh.
holding him after he
Okay.
got shot.
Okay.
I needed that one.
Okay. But, here's what I'm going to say. Let me tell you this. Let me say this, and I'm going to say it very candidly. Let me say this very candidly. Hey, let me say this. He's the first to die in the American Revolution. If I put George Washington picture up there, everybody would know. Wouldn't it? The curriculum should give the same respect to every ethnic group. The curriculum should do it. We fail our kids, and then we blame them for the failure. I was telling this morning. Who is William Burkhardt Du Bois? You know who he is? You know. Tell him who he is. Tell him. He wrote so many books. He was the first. Say what? He founded the NAACP. He was the Martin Luther King of his time. That's right. He was secretary of the NAACP. He taught at Atlanta U. When he went to school, his teachers told him that he should go in the vocational track. Why did they tell him that? Huh? It's not good. The academic environment should glorify everybody. I want you to read a book. I want you to read a book. The name of the book is The Color of Wealth. You've already read it. The name of the book is The Color of Wealth. Read it. Henry Cisneros has about 100 honorary doctor's degrees. Ms. Ramirez, give me approximate date when Hispanics settled in America. You know? Yeah, Hispanic, yes. You know the date? About the time? Huh? They settled in America about the 1500s. Okay? About the 1500s, right? Jamestown, Virginia was founded in 1607. That means you were already here. Okay? History has to say truly what it is. Okay? It's only fair. Don't blame young minority kids when they turn off from the curriculum. The curriculum ought to speak to their contribution and their heritage. It should speak to it. Okay? All right. Here's what I'm saying. I tell kids, go to college, take a good course in your ethnic history, and take an economic course and know what to do with your money. Know how to invest your money. Okay? I tell them that. Because those two things you need to know. How to invest your money, you need to know about your culture. I want to say this, one more thing. Growing the gift. Growing the gift, growing the gift, growing the gift. Every person is gifted, right? Every person is. Every kid is gifted. You know that? Let me say this. Oprah Winfrey is a billionaire. She's number 211th wealthiest person in the United States. You think she was in the gifted and talented program in high school? I bet you 10 to 1 she wasn't. Because we define gifted in a limited term. You know what kids have to believe? Every kid has to believe in themselves in spite of an adult. You hear me what I said? Every kid has to believe in themselves. Because I say in order for a kid to succeed, they need to have what? 3 things. They need to have a kid. They need to have a adult that believe in them. They got to believe in themselves. We can't destroy them. They got to believe in themselves. And they got to take the time. That's the reason. And I'm going to tell you. That's the reason that sometimes I would read 2 books a week. Spend the time. You have to get kids to believe in themselves and get them to spend the time. Everybody can succeed if they're willing to put the time in. That's all they got to do. And everybody is gifted. I'm going to sit down. I hope you have enjoyed this as much as I have. Thank you.